today we have a fantastic success story for you in the midst of this pandemic, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm Marlene van Rooyen, and with me I have Gerrit van Berg, who is the head of Atterbury in the Western Cape, and they've been busy. Lockdown hasn't had you locked down much, has it, Gerrit?
Sure. Thanks, Marlene. Thanks for having me. Now, obviously, lockdown is a emotional roller coaster. You start off having good days and having bad days and having a few kicks in the butt, which we didn't want. But yeah, I think we've been very fortunate. We've saved a few deals and made a few ones work, and especially on the industrial side, but then obviously specifically today on the Richmond Corner, we've been very fortunate, and we've been kept busy, which is good. Happy about that.
I'm so glad for you, and it's so nice to hear a happy success story. So Richmond Corner is the project we're going to talk about specifically this morning, and it's going fantastic. Tell us a little more about this, because this was a project that really caught my attention and that has me very excited about the opportunities for retail in South Africa.
Oh, thanks, Marlene. Yeah, I think Richmond Corner does have a nice story to it. I'm going to try and keep it short, but it's a land restitution project of which the community was chased off the land. It was 401 families that lived on the land in the late 70s. They were chased out by the old regime and said, okay, we're going to have a graveyard here for whites only, and chase the guys away, start the digging, say, no, it's too sandy, we cannot have a graveyard here, and then nothing happened. Obviously, the New South Africa came in, the guys got their land back. They eventually put it out onto a tender, the community, these 401 families. They formed what you call a community property association. And we were lucky enough to win this tender. And the gist of it is they remain the landowners. We've got a development company that they own 25% of, that's got a lease over the land. So you're 100% right in saying that they are still the landowners, and they're also a 25% shareholder of this development company that's got the development rights of. The biggest scheme is 300,000 square meters of bulk, of which the shopping centre is now just 6,500.
Let's talk a little bit details. So you just started off with that. So let's talk, how many shops are we looking at the moment?
22 shops at the moment. It's fully trading at the moment, and there's 22 shops in it.
Fully let, you said. So
yeah, fully let. Yeah, it's anchored by Pick and Pay. We've got a Woolworths Food. We've got a Clicks as well, and then this letter, I think, is a fantastic tenant mix. We've got quite a variety of coffee shops and takeaways and drive-throughs. KFC actually opening today, a Burger King, and all the stuff that you want in a convenience shopping center. But we're very fortunate to have a fully trading shopping center just at the end of a pandemic, or it's called in the middle of a pandemic.
And you've had inquiries. I mean, this shopping center isn't just trading. They are actually doing quite well.
Yeah, we're quite surprised. Obviously, we're getting the first figures now back. We've now been open for about 3 weeks, so we got the figures back from a Woolworths and a Pick and Pay. Some of them, the anchors are trading well above budget in the first 2 weeks in any way.
Wonderful. And
even on the smaller tenants, I inquired yesterday about, I found the center management said, do you know of any issues? She said she doesn't know. So we're really just fortunate that the tenants are trading well, from the small guys to the big ones, the barber shop, the calamari fisheries.
Great.
So far so good. And then, as you say, we've got a few extra inquiries. I've got a list of about 7 or 8 people that I'm trying to accommodate, and see if we can do a small extension in one corner and see if we can accommodate the guys that really wants to go there.
That is fantastic news. And also, what I really like about this is there is a lot of community involvement in this project as well. I mean, throughout the construction phase and going forward.
Yeah, correct. I think when we won this tender in 2008, there was very specific things that we had to agree with the community. We, for instance, started a trust. There's a trust for the upliftment and upskillment, and there's bursaries that's been put out to the people of Atlantis. I think we started the trust with a 4 million contribution, so we had to pay for the land and then started this trust. And then there's a 0.5% of all construction costs to infinity on the whole Richmond. So if you build a shopping center at 100 million rand, you have to pay 500,000 rand on completion to this trust. So it keeps the sustainability running. That's one portion of it. But then obviously trying to create jobs for people during construction, and then more so long-term construction. I know there's a community or two workers that's working at the CTM already, and in the shopping center there's a few guys that's been accommodated. It's not without challenges. It's obviously difficult for people to travel from Atlantis to Richmond, but that's the idea. We've got actually a very nice story. The security company on the bigger Richmond Park, I think that's a bill of about 150,000 rand a month. That's two sisters that their parents were born there. They were born on the land, and they've got a security contract with us now for the last 3 years. And that's where we're trying to get to help people to build it up. And there's always room for improvement. There's a community liaison officer on site permanently, all time speaking to contractors of the various buildings going up at Richmond, and trying to find jobs for these guys.
That's wonderful. That's great. Some of the construction challenges. I mean, we did just come out of lockdown, so you must have had your fair share of construction challenges.
I think we were fortunate in some sense on the size of the shopping center. Obviously, when lockdown started, this whole thing started in China, and there's a lot of product that goes, as you would know, in a shopping center that comes from China. Stuff that you don't even think about.
Yeah.
And then the moment you started, we wanted to open the shopping center on the 23rd of April, and exactly 4 weeks before that, we went into a hard lockdown to the day. And so a few days before that, when China got into trouble, we started picking up issues on small items. Now, luckily, on a small center like this, you don't have escalators and lifts and the big components, the big parking equipment components. So we're fortunate in that sense that the only material that we really struggled with at the end was we've got quite a lot of composite wood features in the ceilings and on the facades that we had to make a plan. And well, luckily, it's actually a slap on the wrist for us. We had to go local, and now we're actually happy. We've got a Bilal product in that actually now looks nicer than what we thought, and a little bit cheaper. So on this specific one, I said to our guys, just before lockdown, we completed the 43,000 square meter building for Deloitte in Johannesburg.
Yes.
And on that building, if that was 6 months earlier or 3 months earlier, we could have had real issues with getting lifts out of China and the rest of Europe. So at timing we were fortunate. So we opened 3 months later, but no real issues as it could have been. And I'm sure you'll find a lot of people in the industry that must have picked up serious issues in this time in their construction phase.
So let's talk a little bit about the future of retail.
Okay. I see. I got a message this morning that our CEO was last night. He was on Vince Lane on CakeNet.
Yes.
And he had the same subject. So I thought, shucks, I haven't watched what he said, so I must now check what I say. I must not contradict what the CEO said on TV last night. Yeah, I think if you ask 50 people in Atterbury what the future of retail looks like, you're going to get 50 different answers. And that's obviously we debated quite a lot internally and say where it is. And I think COVID might have fast-tracked the, what do you call it, people going online and using e-commerce and buying on Take-A-Lot. I see my wife is buying more and more clothes and stuff on Take-A-Lot. So I tell her, we make a living out of shopping centers.
Yes.
But I think the biggest thing's been in 2013 we built a Mall of Africa, 130,000 square meters. And I think the time for those bigger shopping centers have probably gone for a while to come. But we've seen now in Richmond Corner again, if you have a good retail convenience center, I think there's still a bit of scope. I spoke to guy, I don't want to call them competition, which our offices are literally 200 meters apart. They do a lot of smaller shopping centers as well. I met with them last week, and they said, you know what, we'll maybe just build a little bit less of them in the next years to come, but there's still opportunities. As we said, it's actually incredible. We build a shopping center, and we normally sell a shopping center after 4 or 5 years and then go on and develop other things. We don't normally keep on building. The bigger fund, we'll try and develop a new shopping center. And we've been approached now by 5 or 6 different people that wants to buy the shopping center. It's unbelievable. I don't know if it's the interest rates that come down, but all of a sudden it's something that everybody wants, is to want to buy a small shopping center. So, I always say, I see my wife buys clothes for herself and for the kids, but I will never buy something over the internet personally. Or not buy something, but something that I can wear. I want to fit the shoe, and I like going to the butchery on a Saturday and pick out my own meat. My wife bought meat the other day over the internet, and I flipped. I said, "Ja, kyk hoe slegte stuk vleis is die. I want to see the meat before I buy it."
Terrible cut of meat. It's terrible.
Yeah. So we will be ignorant to say it's a good time for retail. It's not a great time for retail, definitely, but I still think there will be opportunities like a Richmond Corner type small convenience shopping center. I think that people in the area as well, like area Richmond, they live in quite small units. They live in Berg estates, a nice estate across the road. They sit in units of 80 to 120 square meters. They want to get out. They want to go to the shop and experience something and see other people and integrate into a community. So, yeah, after work, they want to go and walk into the shop and pick out what they want. So I don't think retail is completely dead. Hopefully not.
No, and I think also that, and what you've done very well as well, is that retail is an experience. People want to go out and they want to go somewhere where it's a great experience and convenience. I've got 2-3 massive malls in a 5-kilometer radius from me, and probably 7 strip malls, and I visit all of them on a regular basis intermittently. So depending on where I'm going or what my needs are, whatever, it's easier. For an example, it's easier for me to go to Dis-Chem in Menlyn, which is a mega mall, than it is to go to a Dis-Chem that's a couple of kilometers away. So it's, I think the ease of use of the mall for people as well, definitely. But yeah, malls, I don't think malls will die anytime soon. The configuration might just differ, and the experience.
Yeah, correct. No, we're obviously privileged, and but I think a big portion of this country doesn't live in the area where we want to, as I said, want to stay at home the whole day. You need to get out and go and experience this thing. And people are getting so clever, the architects and the teams, on what nice stuff can you bring to a shopping center. There's water features and kids play areas and food courts, and so it's still lucky to go there.
Still a social environment.
Yeah, social environment, exactly.
Any closing thoughts on Richmond, on Richmond Park? I think that this is such a wonderful story. I'm very excited to have you here and to talk us through it. Any closing remarks for you on Richmond Park?
Yeah, I think on Richmond, as I said earlier, now this is 6,000 of 300,000 square meters, and we've seen this is actually industrial park, and the big thing that I think on that N7 corridor where we've got the shopping center, it makes a big difference for us. Whenever I see clients, I'm meeting with a client right after this, I can say, it's industrial park, but for lunch you can actually come into Vida. I've always had my meetings inside offices around there. My next meeting is in the Vida E shop, and that makes a big difference. And it's exciting to see that there's construction. We've got on site currently, we've got 3 warehouses going up. Obviously, shopping center just been completed, and we're working on 3 or 4 more deals, and that gives you a little bit of hope. So okay, there's still stuff happening in the market. It's mostly logistics and the courier guys that's running around, and everybody now needs bigger space because they say retail track a bietjie swaar. But it's exciting to see bricks being moved. We handed over a site yesterday. There was a site handover meeting. I said to guys, ons is bevoorreg om te kan sites oorhandig in hierdie tyd.
Yeah.
It's not like that everywhere. You see a lot of vacant land and just brokers phoning around. Everybody's desperate and hungry. Yeah, so we have to appreciate it while it's here.
I think it's wonderful that there's a ray of light, and I think that this is such a great message of hope that the country and the construction industry in particular really needs to hear, is that there are jobs coming and there is work happening. And thank you, Atterbury, and thank you, Gerrit, for everything that you guys do to keep the wheels ticking over and keep the building and the construction industry churning. We're looking forward to seeing those projects come off very soon, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks, Marlene. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Have a lovely time, and thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye.